Hello everybody and welcome to Comic Time. I am Rainbow Red Panda and it's Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day, everyone's favorite day of the week. I just got back from the comic book store a little while ago and this is what I picked up today. Today for the Infinity stuff I got The Hunt #2. I believe it's #2. Yes. We have Thunderbolts #16. We have The Mighty Avengers #2. I like this cover a lot more than the first cover. I still have not read the first one, but based on the cover, this one looks interesting. I will say that. The one that I got today, I don't usually read this title, at least not right now, but the Villains Month one-shot of Relic had me so intrigued that I decided I was going to have to read this. Green Lantern #24. It is the beginning of the Lights Out arc that they are doing. I don't know. I don't really read Green Lantern that much. I mean, I'm aware of everything, and I have no hate for the Green Lantern. I haven't read this series, and I don't know, the Relic thing just kind of, I don't know. I'll talk more about Relic later, so I'll just move on. But later, I will further explain that. We have the Legends of Oz Wicked West #11, which I don't think a lot of people read, but I really like it. I think it's a really solid series. I don't know, Big Dog Inc. I think does a really good job at doing comics. We have Suicide Risk #6, which this is one of my favorite series as well. So I'm gonna be definitely reading that tonight. We have The Movement #5, which this isn't my favorite cover, but I do like it. I prefer the other Movement covers. Oh, and looking at the camera, Norton is with me this week, and if you remember last week, Norton joined me, and he did not have any glasses. Well, I found his glasses, so he is complete in all of his bunniness this week, so here's Norton. We have Invincible Universe #7, and I love the cover. I love the dog on the front. It's so fun. Like, I don't even know. And if you guys look at my Twitter, I totally sent Mike Norton a picture this morning of a pug wrapped in like bubble wrap and stuff because he does the Battle Pug online comics. So I don't know. I just see that dog and I just think of that picture from this morning. So I don't know. It just all makes me happy. We have Uber #6, which I just got caught up on Uber this morning. This is the beginning of Volume 2. So if you guys are going to start Uber, Volume 1 is out now, if not soon. It's coming out definitely soon. And it is the first 5 issues, and then #6 starts the second volume. So start Uber. I don't know. I think it's really good. Savage Wolverine #9, which I'm a couple issues behind on this one as well. I'm going to finish that tonight and then read this new one. The cover is kind of weird because like usually you have like a big face like right in your face, whether it's Wolverine or Nick Fury or somebody. So it's very interesting that there's like a couple people in the background, like in the distance here, but that's it. So it's kind of a desolate cover, but I don't know, I like it. It probably has something to do with the issue, so I'm gonna find out. We have Captain America Living Legend #1, which is obviously the first issue of this. I'm excited to read it. This isn't usually something that I bring up now. I was gonna wait till later in the episode, but my question of the week last week was, what do you think is the most underrated series in comics right now? And the person that I selected to have their answer chosen to be on the show or whatever was MSKI361, and they said Captain America. So that's just a regular Captain America series. This one is obviously not that series, but it is Captain America. So if you guys do read this and like it, maybe check out the original series and you'll like it. So I don't know, Captain America is popular, but I don't know personally a lot of people that read Captain America, myself included. It's one of those things that's on my list of things to read, but I don't read it currently, so I'm just as guilty as everyone else who doesn't read it. But thank you for that answer, and I will later on have next week's question. But since that went along, I just thought I'd get it out of the way. We have the Forever Evil Trinity of Sin Phantom Stranger #12. All kinds of stuff going on in this. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be good. I like the cover. It's another one that has a dog on the cover, and I think it's fun. Like, I don't know. It's a fun cover. I don't know. I could see it being like part of a haunted house. Halloween's coming up, so I have like Halloween on the brain. We have Forever Evil number 2, which I feel like it took forever for this to come out. Villains Month is officially over. It was very odd walking into my store the day. I looked and I saw all these DC things. I'm like, wait, where are all the 3-day covers? Like, it's been so long. And then I'm like, oh, it's October, it's over. So, yeah, that was kind of fun, but Forever Evil's still going on. So Villains Month is sort of still around. We have Hunger number 3, which this did take forever. I've been seeing on message boards and Facebook pages and Twitters and all kinds of people. People have been wondering, when is this coming out? Like, what's going on with Hunger? Because the first 2 came out so close together, and then there's been such a long time between them. So it's out now, and I don't know. I think hopefully I'll enjoy it. I might do a review on it. I need to do a review on the first 2 because there's just some things that I just need to talk about regarding it. I've talked to a couple people about it already, but I don't know. I just feel like I need to make a video just to get it all out there. We have the X-Men, all new X-Men special. It is number 1. It is part 1 of the Arms of the Octopus, which is the little thing they're doing with Dr. Octopus this month. So that looks fairly well. If it's anything like all new X-Men, which is one of my favorite X-Men series, it's going to be awesome. But it's going to be interesting to see how they include Dr. Octopus in this, if he's going to be like him, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to read it for sure. And then my top 3 of this, well, okay, no, it's not my top 3, but it's my top 3 that I have physical copies of. We have Superior Foes of Spider-Man number 4. Nick Spencer is awesome in my mind, so I really like this series for sure. It doesn't, if you watch my review of the first one, it doesn't go in how I thought. I thought maybe he would highlight each foe in an issue, and that hasn't happened. So I was kind of wrong on that, but you know, it was pure speculation. I wasn't stating a fact, so I wasn't wrong. I just wasn't correct. Trillium number 3, which I'm super excited about. I really, really like this series. And like the second one, it is just one-sided. It's not a double-sided, which is fine. But I'm really looking forward to getting and reading this one for sure. And then my favorite physical copy of a comic that I have this week is the all-new X-Men number 17, Battle of the Atom, part 6. I am really, really, really digging Battle of the Atom. I think out of all of, like, the special things, like, with Forever Evil and all the stuff with Infinity, I think Battle of the Atom is superior in my mind. I don't know, I just like it. I like how they've combined like all of the X-Men titles into one. It goes well together. I don't know, I feel like this was done correctly. Like some of these special promotions that they have, it's like they have tie-ins that don't make sense. They have like a storyline that kind of falls apart. I feel like this one has been solid so far the entire way, and I don't know, it's just my favorite. So that is probably going to be, of this stack, it will probably be the first one that I read first. My favorite comic of this week is one that I have a digital copy of, but I do not have the physical copy. My store did not come through. It was the one I was most looking forward to, and it is The Occultist by Mike Norton and Tim Seeley. I should have said Tim Seeley first, but if you've watched any of these other episodes, you know. But they do Revival, and now they're working. This is a Dark Horse comic, I believe. I know it is not an Image title, and so the same people that write Revival, which I love, and then you just have Tim Seeley on his own is amazing. Mike Norton on his own is amazing. But whenever you get them together, they create magic. So I'm really excited. They did tell me at the store that it is coming next week. So next week I will have a physical copy to show you, and I will do a review on it then. So until next week, you guys are gonna have to wait to see how I feel about The Occultist, but you should definitely go check it out. So I don't know, those are the comics that I picked up for this week. And The Mocking Dead number 2 also came out today, and also I didn't get it. I was kind of really sad about that, but what can you do? But definitely go check that out too. I know the first issue is already on second print, and the second issue is probably going to go that way too. It's like a limited series. I think it's like 4 issues or 6 issues. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun little series. So go check out The Mocking Dead too if you haven't already. And that's all I have for new comic book news today. Batman Black and White number 2 came out as well. The new Swamp Thing came out, and the Action Comics came out today also. So if you guys are into those, I can't buy everything, or else one day whenever I have a lot more extra money, maybe I will like just go into a store and buy every single issue of a new release that came out, but today is not that day. So you saw what I got, and that's what I got. So that's all I have. If you guys got something different, you can let me know in the comment section below. But until then, it is 83 days until Anime Apocalypse in Rockford, Illinois. It is December 27th through 29th, and I'm super excited. We're going to be doing giveaways, some live streaming. We have a panel. I don't know, I'm gonna try and dress up as something, even if it's just some weird outfit that doesn't make any sense. I will be doing something special. So if you guys are interested in that, if you're from Illinois, anywhere, it's definitely within driving distance. I think it would definitely be worth it. But yeah, I will be there with my panel-to-panel people, Space Chief and Spin Dash, and maybe some others. I don't know of anyone else for sure that's coming, but we're working on it. So if you guys want to come out and see me or us, we will be there, and it will be awesome. So I highly suggest it, and I will be doing a during/after video, I'm sure, and uploading it. I usually do that whenever I go to any sort of convention. So look forward to that in approximately 85 days. So that's all I have for that. Comic-Con news, if you guys went to Comic-Con this year, you should be getting an email if you haven't already. I think mine went to my junk file, so check your junk files if you guys went and haven't gotten an email from Comic-Con. You are able to pre-register for next year's convention as long as you still have your badge from this year. It has a code on it. You just go put in the code. I haven't done it yet because I'm just reasons. But yeah, definitely do that if you're able to, and if not, then look for being able to register. I'm guessing January, February is when they did it this year. So next year, January, February, you should be able to register for the convention if you are interested in going to San Diego's Comic-Con. So with that, I have my weekly cupcakes. They are white and they are chocolate icing with awesome Halloween type sprinkles, and one just fell over. And I don't know, they're very tasty, I'm sure. I haven't eaten one yet, but I will. Okay, my first one is going to be kind of strange. It's not something I normally dedicate, but I am dedicating this little one to the month of October, because with October means no more of those 3D comics. As I mentioned earlier, it was very strange today to walk into the comic book store and not have all these 3D covers and not have the owner of my shop freaking out because he's confused as to who gets a 2D, who gets a 3D, how many they allocated, and so he has to replace. You know, they're falling over because they're slippery and whatnot, and it's just a big old mess. So it was very nice to walk in today, see actual DC titles, regular ones. I've missed that, and I don't know, it was just nice to be like, okay, it's over. The craziness that was September is over, it's October, it's time to move on from Villains Month, and I'm excited about it. I'm so ready. From week one, I was like, okay, this is crazy. Craziness is happening right now. So, yeah. And ironically, the most allocated title was Joker's Daughter, which I would say the majority of anybody who read any of the Villains Month one-shots would agree, the worst book that they made. It is highly sought after because it's super, super rare to find in 3D form, but I don't even think my shop got any. They did not get any. They only got the 2D prints because, I don't know, they took them all away, basically. So if you guys got a 3D one, hang on to it because it's worth something, but it's not worth reading, I guess. I sat and read it in the shop, and I was like, no, I'll pass on this. Okay, my second one, ironically, this goes against everything I just said. My second cupcake is going to this little beauty. It is the Relic 3D one-shot. I would love it just as much as 2D. The reason I love it, if you guys, as soon as I read it, I put a thing on Twitter. It is the most beautiful comic I've ever seen. Look at this. You look at it and it's beautiful. It is rainbow. It is amazing. It is a pretty good story, and it's just, the whole thing is just so color, and it's just about colors, and I love it so much. It's if Relic just had a series, I would buy it. I don't usually follow the Green Lantern closely and read the comics and things, but that was probably at least in my top 3 of the one-shots, if not just my favorite, just because it was so pretty to look at. If you made that whole comic book into a poster, I would be so happy. So that is why I'm reading the Green Lantern book that you saw in my pile. That is why I'm reading it. I'm reading it because of this, because I wanted to see if there is more awesome colors in store. So if you guys are interested in reading that, I would definitely pick it up, and I would definitely suggest reading this because it is beautiful. So, enough with my color obsession. The Biggest Cupcake, if you guys don't know, Tim Seeley and Mike Norton, The Occultist. It is an awesome book. I don't have a physical copy, obviously, I've already said that, but it is amazing. Go pick it up. I think it's going to be another big hit from them. If you like Tim Seeley at all, you will like this. If you like Mike Norton at all, you will love this. Like, I don't know, it's so good. So yeah, go pick it up for sure. It's one of those things where it shows you, like, it's not the label that makes you, it's not image that makes you, it's not any of that. It's just the writing, it's just the art, it's just them together makes magic. So yeah, look forward to that review next week because it's coming and I'm excited about it. But I don't like to do a review just on something that I've read digitally, so you have to have a hardcover. Like, I'm just not a big, if comics just went all digital, my heart would die a little on the inside because I don't know, I don't like it. So, okay, enough with that. My question of the week, I have a little backstory on Panel to Panel, which is a show that I do every Friday for Following the Nerd. Have a little crew, Spendash, Space Chief, we have Jules, and Pedro, and Uni. I've met her like once, but Pedro is from Brazil, and he brings like this whole nother aspect to the show almost because he lives in Brazil, okay? So he is so far behind apparently. In Brazil, they're like 2 years behind on their comics, their new comics. Like, what they get every week is something that like we got 2 years ago. Like, it's insane. So, and we kind of always talk about, like, I don't know how I could deal with if I had to wait like 2 years to get like this comic, or like even like The Occultist, or like any of the comics that I've gotten this week. If I had to wait 2 years, like, that's craziness. So my question of the week is, one, depending on where you're watching me from, is there a delay on when you get your new comic books? If so, I don't care if it's a week, a month, if there's a delay at all, let me know. I'm curious to see if this is just something that like Brazil has a problem with, or South America in general, or I don't know. I'm curious. So at number 2, how would you feel personally if you had to wait 2 years to get a new comic book? Just think about your favorite new comic book that you get once a month or something, and how you would feel if you had to wait 2 years. Like, if I had to wait 2 years to go to and like have Saga, like, oh my gosh, that would be horrible. So I don't know, let me know with that. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't asked Pedro this, and it's probably something that I should ask. But I'm guessing that, you know, they still have like all of the online outlets that we have here, but I'm not for sure on that. They can probably do Comixology, download digital things. But still, I mean, if you're like me and you like hardcovers and things, like hard copies of comics, you're not gonna want that. It's not acceptable, and I think that it should change. So these are my questions. If you have a delay, what is it, and how would you feel if you had to wait 2 years for your favorite comic to come out? Like, I don't know, that would be horrible. So that's my answer. I would hate it. Like, it makes me never want to leave ever because I don't want to have to wait. I mean, I know other countries have like movie delays and things, but from what I've seen, they don't have the same thing with comic books. So Pedro is the first I've heard of this being a thing. So if this is a thing where you're from, let me know because I'm curious. So that's all I have from this week. If you guys want to answer one of my 2 questions of the week, feel free to in the comment section below, as well as any of the other questions that I've asked. So that's all I have for this week, and I will see you guys with my next episode. Bye!